Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar session on the topic of strategies for successful technical management in the fast-paced FPGA industry. I want to welcome our guest speaker today, Geetha Rao from Altera. She will be delivering your session today just momentarily. I want to start off by introducing myself. My name is David Stankiewicz. I work on the IEEE staff at our Operations Center in Piscataway, New Jersey, and today's session is being brought to you by the IEEE Women in Engineering International Leadership Conference, taking place right now in person in San Jose, California. This is a component of that live event, and in just a moment, Geetha will take the line to deliver the virtual portion of today's presentation. Before she does get started, I want to go over a few housekeeping items, let you know how you can participate in today's session. If you have joined today's webinar listening through your computer speaker system, also known as Voice over IP or VoIP, this means that you will be able to hear the entire presentation without dialing in using your telephone. And then at the end of Geetha's presentation, we'd like to leave about 10 to 15 minutes for Q&A. So you can ask questions in two different fashions. You can actually use the WebEx chat or Q&A feature. Simply type your question in to myself, the host, David Stankiewicz, and click the send button. And we'd also like to engage everybody on social media. So if you want to join the conversation on Twitter, you can tweet us using the hashtag WeLead. That's WIELEAD. And finally, I just want to let everybody know that today's session will be recorded. So if you missed any portion of Geetha's presentation, or you simply just want to watch it again because you enjoyed it so much, you can go back to the IEEE Women in Engineering YouTube channel and preview it there on demand. So let's go ahead and get started. I'd like to introduce our guest speaker today, Geetha Rao. Geetha is a design and verification manager at Altera Corporation, where she is responsible for leading the functional verification activities across different functional levels. She is also responsible for the verification of the high-speed serial integrated transceivers at the external memory interfaces for one of Altera's leading 14nm technology FPGAs. She began her career as a ASIC design engineer at Tel Labs after graduating with a master's degree in electrical engineering from Wright State University, and she has been working in the ASIC FPGA field for the past 15 years at many startups, including Altera Corporation, Perfect VIPs, Memcore, HIFN, Stretch, and Leapfrog. Apart from the ASIC FPGA design verification, in her spare time, Geetha loves to go running, and she likes to play her favorite Indian musical instrument called the veena. She is also a very active member of Women at Altera and the Society of Women Engineers. Geetha is based in the San Francisco Bay Area. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to our guest speaker today, Geetha Rao.
Hello, everyone. This is Geetha Rao, and thanks, David, for giving a brief introduction about me, and thanks for IEEE for giving me an opportunity to talk about in this virtual track presentation. So let me get started. The topic I'm going to be talking today would be the strategies for successful technical management in the fast-paced FPGA industry. So let me just tell you what is this about, right? So what is the context about why I chose this? So this is everybody, you all have heard about, can manager, without being a hands-on engineer, will the manager be successful when they do that? And also, can a great engineer can be a successful manager? And also, like, being a manager in a fast-paced environment, and then yet you're trying to be technical, and then you're doing a lot of the people management, and then it's a fast-paced environment, and then yet can you be more technical with this? And also you have many times found that, right, like in a very short period of time, a manager, who he or she going from a self-fulfilled, highly competent individual producer to a stressed-out leader. Is this something that, when some person wants to choose the career path, what can they do? Like, can they want to be in the manager role, or do they want to continue in their technical aspect as an engineer? So I thought I would share some of the strategies, for all these questions that has come up. So just wanted to go ahead with that. And this is the agenda for today, just a brief introduction, and then I wanted to give a brief intro about Altera, the company I'm currently working for, and a brief intro to the FPGA, and my aha moment, why did I choose to become a manager? What made me to get into this path in my career? And then the secret sauce, I'm calling it as, some of the key components that I think, if we try to use this in our management or skills, then it will be a great, it's a good recipe for that. And then I'll just conclude it with a conclusion. And I know David already gave a brief intro to me, and then I'll just go over that one more time. And then I'm currently a design and verification manager at Altera, and then I'm responsible for currently a full chip design verification activities, and I also manage the HSSI, and the external memory for Altera's leading 14-nanometer technology FPGA. So I'm mainly part of the verification team. And I started 15 years back. I've been working in this ASIC and FPGA, and I've worked in a lot of the startups in the Bay Area, Filanet, Perfect VIPs, Hyphen, Stretch, and my experience has been in doing the design part and even coming up with the verification. And then I did start my career as an ASIC and design engineer at Tel Labs. One thing I wanted to share here was I still remember when I started working at Tel Labs, I was the first women engineer to be in the team. And then it was like, and then I kind of motivated them and made sure that we at least had 4 or 5 female engineers in the group. I think we achieved this at the end of 1 year. We had like 4 women engineers. And then it was something different to work with, having a diversified team there where we had people, from all part of the world, and then women, and so it was interesting. And then things have changed since then, but I just wanted to share that information. And then, basically I have a master's in electrical engineering from Wright State, and then currently active member at Women at Altera and also the Society of Women Engineers. This is my life in pictures. So I'm married and have 2 kids. They keep me really busy with all their activities. And I'm also very glad to have my dad, who turned 90 last week, to be living with me and then in a hale and healthy condition. And then I enjoy working out. I like to run and then go to yoga and all these physical activity classes. And in my spare time, I love to cook, and then I enjoy music, and I play an instrument called veena. It's a typical South Indian instrument. And of course, at Altera, I'm an engineer, I'm a manager. So this is about my life in small pictures. I thought I would share with everybody. And just wanted to talk about, give a intro to Altera, right, at a glance. So we are headquartered in Silicon Valley, California, and we were founded in 1983. I think that this was industry's first reprogrammable logic semiconductors, was invented here. And then currently, in 2014 sales, we have hit $1.92 million. That's pretty good. And then currently, we have 3,000 employees in more than 20 countries. And then majority of them are in the San Jose and also in the Penang. And we have a great number of people working in Austin also. And we are the leading suppliers of FPGAs, CPLDs, and then SoC. And, just want to, I know many of you will have heard about FPGA, ASIC, and ASSP, and then PLD. So what is this, right? What is a PLD? It's a programmable logic device, and it's a type of semiconductor. So, most of the semiconductors can be programmed like only once to perform like particular specific function. Whereas like these are examples of the non-PLDs where we call them as ASICs and ASSPs. ASIC stands for the application-specific integrated circuit, and then ASSP goes for the application-specific standard product. So whereas when we talk about the PLDs, these are reprogrammable ones. These are functions that can be changed or even enhanced, right, during development or even after manufacturing. So FPGA comes in the, it's called field programmable gate arrays, and then they have a lot of flexibilities, and then flexibility is the one that makes PLDs of a lower risk and faster to design than any other type of semiconductors. And this is one of the small pictures I took for an FPGA definition. When my kids always ask me, what do you do, Mommy? When you talk about your designing, you're verifying. So this is like a small, I thought it's like FPGA is like, you can consider this like a Lego. And you have all these logic blocks. These are kind of the Lego pieces that you need to put together, and then basically, you need to make sure it works, right? So basically the functionality of it needs to be verified. So this requires the design, the architecture, and the verification. So this is basically like a small picture I thought I could share with everyone. And this is like about, why today? What is so different about the FPGAs when I compare this to the general processors and also the application-specific products like the ASICs and the ASSPs? So they are highly flexible, and they're high performance and then hardware programmable. And we have a great flexibility and one IC for many applications. And then whereas on the other end, when you look at the general processors, they have a lot of software programmability, and then they also have great flexibility. And the other end of it, like we have the highly integrated hardware acceleration and great power efficiency ASICs. So Altera, the FPGAs basically have both. They are highly flexible and also at the same time, I can say that they are highly efficient. And to kind of get to know where all the FPGA, the products that we manufacture, right? So that is designed and then verified. Where did they go in the market? So they are in the wireless communication, and then optical network, OTNs, and computer and storage, military, aerospace, and even in your cell phones, automotive, and then industrial. So a lot of areas, it's a wide area where you won't even know that there is an FPGA that is sitting inside there that's doing a lot of functionality that is desired, basically. And also, this is one of the other things I thought I could share, like when I want to go ahead and then explain about the complexity of the FPGA, right, architecture. So this is like a city where you have all these houses and then buildings. They represent your logical blocks, the small logical blocks. And then they're all, designed, and then they're all placed next to each other. And then the important part of it comes the routing, right? How do you access these logical blocks? Like how do you go from connecting them from one place to the other? So it's basically how you go using your roads. Sometimes there will be a lot of congestion, and then it will be harder for you to go through that route. And then there will be some routes will be like highways where you can go much faster. And then, even there might be like some logical block that you need to reach. It might be just next door, right, like reaching to your neighbor. So this is like the complexity, and then this needs to be verified. This needs to be designed and architected with thoroughly, and then so that way the product by itself is functionally working. So this is, I thought it's a great example to kind of get an idea of what this FPGA architecture is. And going to that, I wanted to talk about, what are the complexity, if you really look, I do say about the fast-paced FPGA, right? So what is the complexity that is there in this FPGA? And I know we have architecture teams, design team, and then verification. Everything is complex. And when I talk about the verification, because this is my area, this is where I'm deeply involved, and we have like different levels. Basically, we have like block level and the IP level, and then also we have the full chip level. And then you can imagine that block level is like on the IP level. There are like the smaller parts of itself. These are highly verified. And then they come to the full chip, and then where we integrate all these components at the full chip environment, and then then we do the verification from the top level. So at the full chip, it's like you can imagine it's long computation times, and then it takes us like 3 to 4 hours to even get to simulate the entire design. And then we have combining this is basically FPGA is what? It's combining the flexibility of software with the performance of hardware. So we need to make sure that both the software and the hardware is verified. And then as a company, we also have our IPs that are need to be verified too. And then as a customer, when the customer gets the product, they have the software with them, the hardware, and also the IPs can be used. And the other challenge is the dependencies we have, right? At the verification team, we need the design, and then we also need the methodology or the flow that needs to be used here. And then we need the functional specifications. So we need to make sure that we verify based on what the specifications are. And doing all this, and then we also need to keep in mind that this is time to market, right? And then and we need to do this with high quality. And then we have to compromise. There's no compromise for doing the verification part. We need to make sure the verification is 100%. That gives us a high quality of a product. But at the same time, we need to make sure we do it at the right time. And then, so we keep track of the time to market also. So these are all kind of the major complexities that we go through in the FPGA design and the architecture and the verification process. And like going back to the topic that I chose, right? So as a manager, I kind of explain like what is the complexity of the work that we'll have to go do, and then. So how do we do this, right? And this being a manager does not necessarily mean that I have to give up my technical track. So I need to be hands-on on all of the things that are going on, and then at the same time, I have to make sure that being a manager, I take care of the team, and then I make sure I motivate the team. And then and also the other part of this, being a good manager. How will I be a good manager if I'm not part of the technical knowledge and the projects that are involved in it? And so I would say that yes, you can be involved in hands-on coding. You can do some architecture. You can do the design part. You can also do the verification, and at the same time, you can still manage at the same time. So is this something possible? And then and also for being, there are a lot of challenges for as a women manager, I would say, right? And then we wear like a lot of different hats in our life. When you work in the office or in the work environment, you do have to manage your team. At the same time, you need to be technically involved in all of these things. And then you have a family of your own where you have different roles as a wife, as a friend, and then you're a daughter to someone, and you're a daughter-in-law also. And then you're a mom, basically. So women wear a lot of different hats, and how do we manage all these things at the same time? How can I be staying in the office till 5:36 and then at the same time be in the soccer field where I can watch my kids play, right? These are all a lot of challenges that come up when, for a women engineer, a manager, we have to juggle with a lot of things here. So I wanted to share some of my thoughts. And before going there, just wanted to say why the change in my life, right? What made me get into this career path? What was this aha moment in my life? So I thought I could share that. And this happened, several years ago when we went as a family to India as expats from my husband's company. And then, we were like 15 families. We went there, and then everybody said, you'll have a great life, And of course, it was good. The company gave us all the facilities. We had people, a cook and a maid and driver and a gardener and all that. It was, I had a crew every day, and then we used to go through. Initially, it was good. I thought I had a lot of help. Then it came to a point where I had to be involved. I had to manage them. It was like a team that was given to me. Then I had to start like training them, and then what needs to be done, and then how to motivate them, and then kind of keep track of their work, whether are they really being productive in what they're trying to do. And this became like a real people manager role, right? So I never realized that, but I did enjoy doing that. I was stressed out many times, but it was a good opportunity to go through that. But then what made me realize that I did a good job, then later, like after 1 year, everything was going fine, and then many of my friends over there, they started complaining, saying that their cook left them, and then the driver just disappeared. So they were like, "What are you trying to do? How are you managing them?" They were just, you must be doing something different. That is making sure that you have all the people that they started with you, and then they're still in the same team, and then they're all working for you again. So that kind of gave me, oh, you know what? There's something different than I've been doing here. And the other person was my husband, who encouraged me. You're doing it so well. So when you get back, and then when you get back to work, and then you should start, going through this managerial path rather than just being an engineer and then continuing in the technical field also. This was one of the moments. And the second one was when I came back to U.S. after this expat deal. I was at a startup company called Perfect VIPs, and as everyone knows, it's a startup. It's a big challenge, right? So you are one person basically does a lot of things. You can be involved in the design, and you can even get into the marketing, and then the sales, everything. So we had the main product of this company was verification IP for PCIe and Ethernet and memory controllers like DDR and all that. So, and we had a customer who was particularly looking for a PCIe verification IP. And then we had engineers working in India, and then we had hired a lot of engineers over in San Jose area, and then we had new college graduates who were not that experienced. And we had a lot of good expertise back in India. So this was a combination of work that was going between two different areas, and the customer was in France. So it was, they were asking for different types of tests that they needed to verify and all that, and then we couldn't do that. We couldn't deliver that at the correct time, and then there were a lot of bugs that had to be fixed, and the customer was so frustrated, and then we were at the verge that we were going to lose them. And then a startup, we cannot afford to do that, right? And and then my boss said, I think why don't you start managing this? Why don't you take this as an opportunity and then try to see how you can bring everybody together, communicate to the customer, and then make sure that we get this deal, because the customer was planning to use our verification IP and then package it with their IP and then sell it as a complete solution. So just did my work. I managed to talk to the team in India and then here, and then it was a lot of work. We were totally stressed out. But at the end of it, what was the reward? And then, we were able to get the deal with them. And the sales person was very happy that we got the deal. And then, for a startup, it's a major achievement. So when my peers, they were all like, you did a great job. And then that's when I thought, okay, so, got these two things in my life going on. I thought this is a good thing that I should start my career in the managerial role. So this was kind of one of my aha moments I thought I wanted to share with you. So going to this, going further, right? So what is the secret sauce? And I want to share the secret sauce, and then say, okay, now I'm a manager, and then I'm working. After I joined Altera, I didn't start like as a manager. I was an individual contributor too, and then I was given an opportunity in Altera again, and then I started my career as a manager. And then we've seen a lot of, there are a lot of challenges, and then these are some of the things, like the secret sauce that I'm going to share with everyone is some of the things that I thought, I kept in my mind that these things should be followed very well. So in order for me to be successful, both as a manager and as a technical lead. So well, this is like, just showing that this was one of the mindset, and then I thought the other one would be the skills, and then I have the personality, and then, you have balance, and the time management. So these are like different ingredients that can go in the secret sauce. And everybody will be wondering, you know what, I know all these things. Being a manager, yes, I go through this. Everybody, when we go through all the trainings and all that, and, everybody talks about this. Oh, how do you do your time management? How do you balance your life? And then how do you balance your work life with the family life? And then what should be the personality to be a manager, right? So these are all the things that everybody knows about it. It's not that this is not something new that has come up. But it's the combination of them, right? How do you use this to be successful in both the fields and both the paths? So that is where, this is, I call this as a secret sauce, because it's something that you can use the same thing, like a time management, and then how do you use that so that you can balance your life between both the careers. So let me go with the, time management. So as you all know, yeah, it is key. Time management is the key ingredient, whether, for being a good manager or even for being a good engineer. So it's always good to have your good time management skills. And then it's also like, being busy isn't the same as being effective, basically, right? And then it kind of helps you to work smarter and, not really, you have to work harder, but keeping up with the time, then it also helps you to work smarter. And then it helps you to set your goals and then set the priorities and, these type of things. But let me give an example of, how I've used this time management skill, right, in trying to make sure that I stay technically, I know a technical aspect of the project. At the same time, I'm trying to manage my team with it. So one of the things is like, when we have these technical reviews, they always say, as being a manager, don't really get your hands dirty. Don't get into all these reviews, and then don't go ask too many questions, right? But the thing is, yes, you definitely need to be there. Attend all the technical reviews as an engineer, right? Try to be there as an engineer and not as a manager, right? You don't want to get a feeling to the team or to your engineer who's there that, oh, you know what, my manager is there, I should be more careful. No, you be there as a person whom you're supporting. You should support your team. You support the person who's doing the reviews, and then be there as, give them motivation, and then and with that encouragement, and then if you're attending it, and it makes more sense. You will know what the issues are and what are the things that are planned in their verification plan or in the design plan. What does the engineer has completed so far, right? So you get and then this helps you to improve the knowledge of the project, especially what are the plans that are there being in for the design or the verification, and even for the architecture part, the specifications. So I feel that it's good to kind of use your time to attend these type of reviews, so that you'll get a good understanding of the project. At the same time, you're there to support your team, and you're there to support your engineer. And other thing that I wanted to go talk about is this. Having a one-on-one with your engineer, or with it does make sense to have it every week, having a one-on-one. But when you have this one-on-one with your engineer, makes sense also to talk more about the project, the work they are working on, right? So what is the issues that they have, and what have they accomplished, and then get to know the issues very closely, understand that. So the knowledge is also there. You're improving your knowledge about the project, especially just for anything in particular that the engineer is working on. So you will kind of get a deep understanding of it. So you're not spending too much time going through all these specs, which you will never be able to do that. But these small things that you can do, attending the reviews, and then, having good one-on-ones with the team, and then just, spending some time and then talking to the team every day in the morning when you come. 5 minutes you spend with each person, just getting to know what is the current status of it, what are the things that needs to be done for the day. It helps. So, and then you don't have to spend like hours together on all these things. Just spend like 5 minutes, 10 minutes every day. If we keep that, going that, and be consistent with this, it improves efficiency. So time management is one of the the key ingredients for this secret sauce, I thought. And then the next one would be the balance, right? So definitely you have to have a balance of the skill set. So you have to have balance of the management skills, and also you have to have the balance of your skill set, that the technical skill set that you need to lead the project, or that you need to lead the team that we are working on. So not everybody will have all the skill sets. So it's like, and there's no need to have all the skill sets too. So you have to have a balance. You just don't want to get into so much detail about knowing each and everything, then you might lose track of what you're definitely doing as a manager. So you have to have a clear balance between these two. And then, and also a balance between the delegation of the duties, right? Like, in your team, how do you delegate the duties to the engineers? And then the sensitivity towards others for this. Like, you don't want to kind of delegate a lot to them at the same time where they think that, they have so much responsibility, and then they're not able to be productive. But at the same time, you have to give, delegation is good. As a manager, you need to delegate. You'll be a successful manager when you know how to delegate things. And then the third one would be like work and life balance. This is very important, as I talked about, for being a women manager, balancing between work life and then also the family life. It's very crucial. This is where how much time you spend at work, and then what happens at the end of the day? What is the mindset that you go with, and then how do you manage your family after that? And then you have to definitely balance to make sure the family is also happy at the same time, but on the other end, you are performing well, and your team is satisfied, your team is happy, and then you have to set right set of goals to the team to achieve their, their goals basically. So this is another key ingredient will be the balance that has to go, between the work and the family life, and also the balancing of all the skill set that we have, and the delegation of the duties, and the sensitivity towards what should be delegated and not delegated. And the third one would be, the personality. So personality has so many different faces, right? So the picture that I have shown here, you can have different personalities. So, and then this is one, right? Being a manager, yes, everybody has been trained that, you need to make a trade-off between doing the work to yourself, and then, how do you empower someone else to do this? So this is, yeah, but it's a personality too. I have been trained, I have been told that I should be doing, but I might not even worry about it, I might say, you know what, I will just, finish it. If I do it by myself, probably I'll just take 5-10 minutes or even half an hour. Why can't I just do it? But no, that's not the way. You need to make sure that you kind of, give this responsibility to someone else, and then you need to make this trade-off between how much I can do, and then, how should I empower someone else to do this. And then I've had situations many times where, when I'm explaining some work, and to one of my engineers, then it kind of feels, if I'm given an opportunity, probably I can just go ahead and then do it. But, but as my personality-wise, I don't think I'll probably do that. It's like, think about it. Yeah, it is their responsibility. I want them to exceed in what their goals are. So I should give them the opportunity to do that. And then it's like hand over a lot of trust to be more effective and then efficient as possible. So the trust is what that needs to be built, basically, between the engineer and the manager, and this trust is the key ingredient also. If I don't have the trust, then I won't be able to delegate anything to my engineer. And then the other part is, at the same time, if I can help the people in my team to grow their individual capacity, then I'll be able to exponentially, get more things done, right? And then the other one is like how my team defines executional ability. This is the word, like your team defines your execution ability. So is my team able to do their work? Are they happy in doing their work? Are they challenged enough? Are they motivated enough? So all these things basically defines like what is my execution ability. So it's important that the personality kind of has a very key role in all of these. And the skill set. So this is another one that I wanted to talk about was, how do you improve your skill set, right? So you always have to have look for opportunities, right, to improve and and also the team skills. It's not just improve my skills. It's I need to make sure the team is also improving their skills. And then I need to make sure I improve both the skills, like how I can improve my managerial skills and also at the same time be in the technical area too, right? And then it's good to have, like, attend the trainings and then a lot of technical symposiums and then conferences. And it's just me, not me attending this. I need to encourage the team also at the same time to be able to attend all these. And this also comes under, personality, and also the next one I talk about is the mindset, and then be curious and hungry and want to learn more. Focus on the skills, and then just pick one skill at a time and then see how you can improve on it. How can you master that skill, right? And it can be in any field, manager field, or it can be in the technical field. I might just say, I don't know, probably I need to improve my skill on writing scripts using Python. So, I've done a lot of that, probably using a different tool called Perl. So Python is new. Everybody's talking about it. Yeah, in my spare time, I can do that. But so keep looking for all of these opportunities that will kind of improve. And then another thing would be the protocols, right? Like, a lot of the protocols that in the verification area, we really don't go, especially in the full chip verification area where we focus more on the connectivity part of it, we might not really go into detail about the verifying the functionality aspect of it, but then you won't know exactly what it does, what the IP, the functionality of the intellectual property is, right? So just go the protocols, you need to understand the protocols. So these are some of the things that can be done, improved. These are the skill set that it's always good to improve on some of these technical skills also. And then, of course, you have to encourage the team, and then please, it has to be done at the same time. And then it's like a devotion of self-development, right? And it's like basically it can be in both areas, this area or that area, it just comes to, devotion of the self-development in either this or the other area. And the last one I wanted to go is with the mindset, right? So mindset. So how you interpret and respond to situations. How do you make sure that your team knows that, that they have your support and the encouragement and when there are some different situations come into picture? So what is, you might be a person who doesn't even want to talk about any of this, don't want to share any of these with the team. No, that is different. So it's like you need to be able to interpret that. You need to be able to interpret a problem or interpret a solution and then, and respond to some of the situations that come up when you're working in a project. And then interacting with others, right? And then you have to have that positive mind, and then you have to be open about it. And then, then you have to kind of have that, the trust should be there. And the team should be able to trust you, and then, you should be able to trust the team. And supportive of people, just brightening the day, just coming in the morning, just saying good morning, just talking to people in 5 minutes, every day. That's the mindset that kind of changes everything for that day. And then to be able to radiate some positive energy. The things, it's a challenge, right? Everybody in working very hard to achieve the goals. And then sometimes things work out very well. Some days are not that good, right? But then at the end of the day, right, you need to make sure when your team or the engineer goes back home, remember that they have to go in a mind that they're accomplished something for that day. And then, because this has a lot of ripple effect when you go back home to your family, right? And then this all depends on how you deal with the kids and then your family. If you go out from your office, if you go with a good positive energy, then that has a good ripple effect on the family also when you go in the evening. So just be like, it's like a role model, right, for work-life integration here. So I think about myself. How was my day, right? At the end of the day, am I so stressed out that if I go home that, I won't be able to do the things that I need to take care of in the family? No, it cannot be like that. It has to be like the mindset and the environment or the positive energy that should be every day in the office, in the work environment should be such a way that, it continues. It has a good ripple effect after work and in the family also. And then to be flexible and try to willing to experiment. Just talk to the team, ask them, give me some ideas, right? Like, just ask them, like, give me some ideas, like what can be changed, right? What can I do that day? So at the end of the day, the person has to go with the positive status and the state of mind and then go home and then be able to function what they have to do in their family life. So, and sometimes, the mindset is, why I don't want to experiment these things. I've set up these goals, I have set up these roles, and I just want my team to focus on this. It cannot be like that. It cannot be so rigid. It's not. We are not trying to run an army life here, right? We need to kind of try to experiment things and then try to see what can be done. And one of the things I kind of thought about this and then did that was to kind of work out every day, right? So that way, keep us as a routine every day, and then I encourage my team to do that. And then when I joined one of the Zumba classes that is offered in the company, I encouraged my team, 2 of my women engineers basically joined me with that. Let's go together, and then we did that actually. It was, we enjoyed that. It is something like, even if it's for 45 minutes to an hour, but just once or twice a week. It's good that when you accomplish that with your team. I think for me it gives a good feeling. So I think this is kind of the last ingredient in my recipe, and then I think we're almost time, right? So I just wanted to go ahead with the conclusion. So I shared all my secret ingredients that can go in the sauce, and then I say that great engineer, yes, can become a great manager. And it's a matter of how you use the secret sauce, right? All the mindset and the skill set that you want to improve on, the time management and all that. So it's work on your time management, right? With skills and the priorities. And then at the end, you have to have a constant focus on learning to excel. And this is the key. So I thought, this is now all the ingredients that are in the sauce are it's all a matter of how you use this, and then how the secret sauce it can be a powerful one. So this is the last slide of my presentation, and then before I hand over this to David, I just wanted to thank IEEE Women in Engineering International Leadership Conference for giving me an opportunity to present at the virtual track. And also I wanted to thank Altera and also women at Altera for giving me an opportunity and encouragement and a lot of support for this presentation. And it was a great pleasure. And then have a great day, everyone.
Geetha, thank you so much. That was excellent. Excellent presentation, very informative and super educational. I think the audience got a lot out of it because we got a couple questions through the chat. So I will just, I'll go right down the line. We can address these. The first one that came through, Geetha, was, what is the most rewarding part of your current role at Altera?
The most rewarding part, I would say, is to make sure my team achieves their goals. Make sure that they are, they have set up, I've helped them to set the goals, right? So and then at the end of the project or at the end of the period or at the end of the time, I want to make sure my team has achieved their goals. When I see that they have achieved their goals, it tells me that I've achieved my goal, and then making sure that I've given them all the support, the encouragement they need, and the motivation that they needed, right, to achieve the goals. So that's what I'm looking for at the end, to make sure as a manager, my team is, able to achieve the goal, and then that gives me a lot of satisfaction. So that's.
Thanks, Geetha. So question number 2 is more about specifics. Let's get into some numbers. What is the percentage of women that work at Altera?
There is, I don't know the exact number, but, as a women engineers, I do see, going back to this, right, in the semiconductor industry, there are not, I don't see a lot of women engineers. Software, yes, there are a lot of women, marketing and then sales, and then IT, yes, there are a lot of, but a semiconductor industry, I don't, there are not many, women engineers. Even, I can go back to my school when I was doing my master's, there were few of, women engineers who were taking all the VLSI design and circuit design courses, and then where I would see computer science, basically there were so many women engineers. So overall for semiconductor industries, there are not, but in Altera, women engineers, yes, I think we have a good ratio compared to men, but women managers, we still, there's some lack in that. I think there is more opportunity for women to be like, go to that leadership and the managerial role, and then, to be more successful and as a director and all that. So I think even Altera is doing a lot of things for that to, change this and then improve the diversity in the company as a whole. And then, so as a women engineers, we do have a good ratio, but I think only with the women managers, it would be good to see more women going to that leadership and then manager position, basically. Does that answer the question?
Certainly. We have actually one more. I hope we can get to it, and this is probably the last one, and it's very fitting, so we can go out on this. How do you, Geetha, personally encourage women at your organization?
One thing I always tell my team is to, when they come to work and then when they're given the task of what they're trying to do, keep your heads up, never keep it down, right? And then stand up and then ask questions. Never keep it down. Just, you have to keep your, and then it's always, actually I attended one of the sessions in the women sessions in Santa Clara, where we had, it was just a women engineering conference basically. And one of the speakers gave this in the keep your heads up and then see if you can get shots at the head when your head is up, not when your head is down, right? So it's better, I know there will be issues, there will be challenges that will be coming, but, you should keep your heads up and then try to see how you can solve this problem, right? And then, and then there's always one thing to understand. Fear is not a recipe for success. Then there are many engineers, right? You come up with a lot of different things, right? A lot of your ideas are new, right? And then, so you need to be able to present that. You need to be able to show that. And then another important one is the innovation, basically. You are given a task, right? So you are like, okay, I'm told to do this, and this. But no, try to come out of the box. Try to do something that is different, right? Even like small things that how can I kind of write a separate script for this? How can I automate something here? I think there are so many possibilities that can be done where you can do a small innovation that can help you and even succeed within your project. At the same time, it will be helpful for the project itself where others can make use of it. So innovation is a key one too. So for women engineers, and then there are a lot of things that they do, but there are things that they do, and then again, you have to speak up. You have to come out and say, hey, look, I have done this. I have innovated something new. I want everybody to adapt this, and then give this as a challenge. And then take challenges, when you're working. Just don't stick to the things that you're doing. Accept challenges, and then take something that you think it can be a risk to you, but at the same time, you should accomplish that, right? When you're successful at some of those things, it kind of gives you a good feeling at the end. So innovate, think out of your box, and then try to take a lot of challenges, be able to accept challenge and change, especially. Try to accept change. And then as I always say, keep your heads up and then never keep it down, right? Take challenges and then, speak up. Speak up is a good one, and be tough. So that's one message that I can give it to all the women engineers, and then especially the new college grads that will be coming to this workforce and then starting a new career in their life.
Thank you, Geetha. On that positive, upbeat note, I will actually conclude today's webinar presentation. I want to thank you, our guest speaker, Geetha Rao, for being able to present to us today. Thanks, Geetha. And everybody out there in the... Oh, you're welcome. It was a great session. Thank everybody out there for your time and participation in the virtual audience. I really appreciate it. And I just want to remind everybody that, again, there are other virtual sessions a part of this track, which is part of the Women in Engineering International Leadership Conference. They are available either on demand, and we have 2 more live sessions tomorrow on Saturday, April 25th. Please check those out. Visit the IEEE-WIE-ILC.org website for more information. Again, thanks to the IEEE Women in Engineering Conference and Committee for giving me and Geetha the opportunity to bring you today's webinar. It was a pleasure, everybody. Have a great day.